everybody. My name is Matt Barkas, CEO of ISN, and we're going to get started here. I'm really excited about tonight. We got Pete and Jim here from the United States that's jumping on here, and they've had massive success with their ISN business, and they have a lot of good information to be able to offer you guys to help you guys have some of that equal success for you as well. And so we're excited about that. But what I want to do is I want to take just a few minutes before to get to the meat and potatoes of it, if you will, and I'm going to talk to you guys about what's going on here at ISN with some incentives. We're very excited about these incentives. And as you guys know, we've had this promotion, if you will, I guess it's been running for a little bit, and it's based on award points. And it's basically for every time you sell a new portfolio or every time you get a new autosaver started. And as you can see here, we put that new premium portfolio in, and that adds a lot of points really fast. And then you have and that's 200 points each. The plus portfolio is 100 points each. The basic is 50. And then you can look down through the different autosavers that you set people up on. And the top pick is 25 points. A wonderful product. We've seen lots of upside with those products, so that's definitely something to promote. And the ATB, also one of my personal favorites, 15 points. And then the gold. And in the EU is a 2.5, in the US it's a 3-pack of 1 gram, and then the silver bullion. So this promotion is going to be running until the end of February. So you still have a solid 3 weeks to get this to run this promotion. As of the current standings, right at this moment, and I'm just looking through, seeing what we got going on here. We're going to be putting a posting out that's going to show you guys what's going on with it. We have lots of people who are, in the lead with or not in the lead, but in getting the free ounces of silver. So we're going to be shipping out a lot of free ounces of silver. We're happy about that. But as far as the top 3 positions, and that's right down here it is. For the top achiever, 500 in cash, 300 for second place, and third place ATB. As of right now, in first place is your very own Pete Olsen we got on here, and then Adam DeMora's in second. And then Jim is also on here tonight, Jim Lewis, and he's in third. And so those are your top 3 right now. And we're going to show you how many points that they have so far. We're going to be posting that for you. So look for that email. That way you know how many you have to go to catch them. So this, you still have, like I said, a solid 3 weeks to keep running the promotion. So we're really excited about that. Now, something even bigger, as you might see in my tab already here as I got it pulled up, is this cruise promotion. And we've been talking about it, but finally, and I'm going to go ahead and refresh it just because we got some stuff updated here. Okay. So this year we're going to be switching companies, and we're going to go to the Divina. The Divina won the 2016 award for the best large cruise ship, luxury cruise ship, is #1 last year. And I think you guys are going to really enjoy it. We had a blast last year. It was so much fun. The only thing was last year this seemed too short. It was five nights. Now this time we're going to do it for 7. So we're going to make a full week out of it. And we're really excited about this. So we got a lot going on. Now this one has port of calls from Miami, Florida. And then you're going to go to Jamaica, and then you're going to go to the Cayman Islands, which is one of the most sought-after spots over in the Caribbean, and then Cozumel, Mexico, and then the Bahamas, and then back to the port again. Woo! Now, yeah, it was a lot of fun. It wasn't last time, guys. And so we need to make those port calls. Sorry. Yeah. So here's what it takes. Here's what you got to do right here. Okay. So to get an inside cabin for free on this cruise, which is about a little around $1,000 or so for a week, give or take, a little more probably, and that's with a really special deal that we're able to get. It's going to take $5,000 in new portfolio sales. So if you look on the side over here, on the left-hand side, you can see right over here that when you sell a premium portfolio, one of these new ones, which we've been seeing them sell, you get 1,000 QV. So literally, you sell 5 of those, and you're already qualified. And then the plus portfolio is 450 QV, okay? And then the basic portfolio is 250. So I believe this year we're looking to probably double or triple how many people we had there last time, and so this is going to be a lot of fun. Now we're also having different tiers this time with some recommendations of the guys we got on the line here tonight. and I love it because now it gives you even more work for. So great, you qualified, but what if there's more? So let's create more incentive to keep it going. And so what we've done is we've upped it to 6,000 QB. So if you sell 6 of these premium portfolios, you're going to get a cabin with a balcony on it, and those are really, really nice cabins. And then you can go a little further with it, and we have one for 8,000 QB. Again, selling 8 of those portfolios. I know it sounds really maybe too simple, but we're seeing this stuff happen. That's going to get the cabin with a balcony and $400 in travel points. Now, if we're seeing people, if we're seeing people jump all the way up to this one, we're going to put another incentive out there. We won't stop with just 3 levels. If we see people are achieving to that 3rd level, we want to give them even more incentive. So maybe more cash, or we'll figure something out to make it a really tremendous trip for all the people who are qualifying. And this time around as well, we had a lot of laid-back time, which was really great. And we just had a meeting or two, and then we had a lot of dinners together, which was great. But this time we want to even make it so that we have even more time together if you want. It's not going to be something that's a mandatory thing. You do what you want to. If you come on the cruise, it's yours. But we want to have more family, ISN family time, so to speak. So we're going to have a lot more meetings scheduled, a lot more trainings, a lot of stuff. People are going to walk away with more information and knowledge than ever before. So we're excited about all that. Now the timeline of it, this is what we decided to do. We decided to retroactive this to the beginning of February. So anybody who's sold any kind of portfolios already this month, we're going to go ahead and count that toward the cruise. So yeah, I know that there's quite a few people who are going to be excited about that. And we're going to run this promotion so you have at least a solid 90 days, because everybody likes those 90-day blitzes, where you just go to put your head to the grinder and go to work for 3 straight months, 90 days. It's easy to do something full out for 90 days if you know there's an end to it. And I'm going to tell you, if you're qualifying for this cruise by selling these packs, not only going to be on the cruise and going to have a lot of fun, but you're also going to be way better off. Think about how good your residual commissions are going to be and how much better your business will be at that point. So we'll announce the exact details of the cutoff, but I'm going to tell you this: we'll give you at least 90 days to run for this promo. So now's the time to start today to get that thing going. So again, we're really excited about that. And in correlation, we're still running that promotion until the end of February, so it's kind of a double up month. This is the month to take action, is February, and then keep on going from there. So without taking too much time up here, because I know these guys got some great information, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and transfer over to you guys to go ahead and start the presentation that you guys have in place. And you guys should have control of the screen. And yeah, and if you guys have any questions about anything throughout this, or what I said, or what they're going to talk about, then go ahead and type them in the questions, and I'm going to hang around while they're talking, and I'll type in questions and answer anything you guys have. So we're excited. So without further ado, we got Pete Olsen, Jim Lewis, some of our top guys here in the company. We're really excited about what they have to offer, and I'm going to turn it over to you guys. Go ahead.
Well, awesome, Matt. Thank you so much. First of all, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine, yep.
And then how about my screen? What do you see on the screen? This is my first webinar, by the way. So.
Yep, I see it. I see a picture of the 3 of us on there, yep.
Oh, good. Okay, wonderful. Now, what about my control panel? Should I just leave it where it is? Do you guys, it's not being covered up or anything?
Nope, no, I don't see that. No, we don't see all this. Sees the full screen. That's hidden.
Okay. All right, awesome. So I'll tell you right now, our presentation just changed when Matt announced the cruise. Thank you all very much for being here. We're going to get to work. Good night. I'm just kidding.
Right.
Wow, awesome news. We did not know this or expect it, Matt. Thank you so much for throwing the contest out there with the cruise. That is something that is near and dear to Pete and mine's heart. We love competing for the vacation part of this company. That to us is just the most fun. So thank you for rolling that out tonight. Pete, are you there? Can you hear me okay?
I am here. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, a little bit low, so go ahead and speak as loud as you can on that. But let's go ahead and kick off. Let's we're going to go through a training, guys, tonight that that's really just going to outline in great detail the specifics of what Pete and myself and Adam, what we do on a daily basis to build the ISN business and expose it to people and bring them in and be at the top of these contests. And it's just a commitment we have for doing this day in and day out. So we're going to go through a little bit of a training tonight, and I've got some slides here to share with you. Before we do get started, I'll turn it over to Pete. He can kind of introduce himself. We came into ISN as partners, as business partners, and so we have each other to work with, as we have from the very beginning. And Pete is my business partner. I've known Pete for many, many years prior to ISN, and we just work incredibly well together. And Pete is in Montana, the great state of Montana, which is in the northern part of the United States. And I am actually located in Southern California, for those that know where that is. But Pete, go ahead and take over for a minute and tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're in ISN right now. What's going on?
Yeah, Jim, I appreciate that. Matt Barkus, thank you so much for the introduction and the incredible news that you just shared with us. That cruise is even bigger, better, greater than the one that we just went on in September, which was also out of Miami to the Caribbean. But bigger ship, longer time, more ports. This is going to be absolutely incredible. And you know, as Jim said, this is really what we live for. I mean, it's part of the culture. It's part of the ambiance of doing what we do and the freedom that we have, winning these big trips and traveling the world with your ISN family. There's nothing better than that, and it's just a whole lot of fun. And I'm sure we're going to even have a lot more ISN people on this cruise than we had last September. But as Jim mentioned, I'm in Montana. I grew up, guys, in Maryland, went to the Naval Academy. I was a naval officer for 5 years. Serving this country, and when I got out of being a naval officer, I realized I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I started in network marketing like Jim did about 23 years ago, and started with a company called Equinox, and worked hand in hand with Bill Gould. And as we went through the years, more recently, Jim and I were with the company and two of the big leaders in a former silver company, and where we were mentored by the great Larry Thompson, who many consider the greatest network marketer of all time. And that company unexpectedly closed. And though we were very grateful for that, because that's how Jim and I ended up coming over to ISN. We met Matt and Keith, and they had asked us to help run North America because of our previous success and our dedication to the precious metals. And Jim and I have come in and really helped launch North America and start building it, and we're starting to see some great momentum working directly with Adam Demora and Keith and Matt. And guys, we are just at the very, very beginning. It's very exciting. So we've had some phenomenal results. The three of us, Jim, Adam, and myself, is three of the top producers in the company, and it's been a lot of fun. But I think even more than that, we're really enjoying what we're doing. We enjoy the people. And we really love working with the people that are in here, and that's the greatest thing, while at the same time stacking all these phenomenal metals and getting wealthy both ways, not only through the comp plan but through the metals. So we're having a ball, and Jim and I are really, really excited to share with you our daily method of operation and how we operate daily.
Awesome. All right, thank you, Pete. I'll just give you guys just a really quick brush of who I am and my background, just so you have a feel for, sort of our credibility, what we bring to the table. I left a corporate finance career back about 23 years ago here in Orange County, California. I was just literally kind of sick and tired of living my life on the freeways or a cubicle. And I missed my family. I missed the freedom and flexibility of kind of doing what I wanted to do, and I just had a real entrepreneurial spirit that was being shut down through a traditional kind of job. And I finally got to a point where I met somebody who opened the door to this industry and to this type of business where you can come in and work really hard for yourself with a lot of people that will be there to help you and support you, and then you can build and develop a residual income that comes in month after month after month from the work you did in the first month and the second month, and you build on that. And I just love that concept to death. And I literally, when I got it and I saw it, I made plans and I severed ties with my company and went full-time network marketing about 23 years ago. And I haven't looked back, and it's been a phenomenal ride. I've had the blessed fortune to be coached by some of the best people in this industry. I'm a very open, and I'll take in the information, and I will listen 10 times more than I'll try to speak. And so I really, pride myself on learning everything I can from the teachers and the mentors that have shown up in my life over the last couple decades in this business, and then take those principles and those habits to task and to really implement them. And so one of the very first companies that I was with, I had another partner, not Pete, but somebody else, and he and I became the #1 and #2 income earners worldwide with that company and made phenomenal money. We were millionaires, made over $1 million each in commissions from that first company. And it was just something that we understood, and we just hit it hard when it was time to hit it hard. And we'll go through a lot of the similarities are here today. I will tell you that. We then transitioned to another company, I did, and it was a very large health and wellness kind of company out of Salt Lake City, kind of your typical, network marketing type company, and it had some momentum that just went to the moon. But you can't always just follow momentum. You have to work hard at it and build a team and be committed and dedicated. And that's exactly what I did. Is I walked into that and created an organization of over 30,000 distributors in that company over the course of about 5 years. Went on many trips, to all over the world, really. We won all kinds of fun incentive trips and bonuses, and again earned over $1 million in actual commissions from that company. Was one of the top 50 $1 million commission earners in that company. And unfortunately, they went through some very rough times a few years ago, and literally I lost just an enormous part of the business to just market conditions and the fact that there's a lot of hot and cold that run in this business, in this industry, especially in the health and nutrition business. And what I was able to then be able to do was take those experiences and say, okay, I've taught myself and trained myself how to move on to the next one and apply the right principles and strategies and the habits to be able to build the next one when I need to. In other words, I'm not going to be company dependent. I'm going to be dependent upon myself. And so I met Pete. We had a run with a company, another silver company, for a very short period of time that allowed us to meet each other and again be at the top of that company. Unfortunately, it just didn't last as long. They had other ideas and plans. But here we are now, almost 2 years with ISN, and we're absolutely loving it. This is the last stop. As long as these guys stay here, and I'm pretty darn confident they're not going anywhere, we are here as well, and we could not be more thrilled. They implement and do everything that just absolutely makes sense along the way. And so we're going to do our part. We're going to do our job, which is not trying to run the company or tell these guys what to do, how to do it. Our job, all of us on the phone tonight, on this webinar, our job is to market this opportunity and this company and get out there and share it with people. That's what we're here to do. And so many people get distracted in many of these other facets that it's like, no, our job is to go out there and just talk to people. We take the products, in this case, gold and silver, we put it in our safe, and we talk to people. And the more people we can expose, the bigger our income and our group is going to be. Guys, it's that simple. So let's dive into the details of how we, quote, talk to people, right? That's a loose term. Let's dig into those details, and Pete and I are going to share exactly our methodology for how we talk to people, what we say, who we talk to, what information we send them, and just sort of the step by step. We're very pragmatic kinds of guys, and so we have everything laid out literally like 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, just straight down. Here's what we do. We systematize it for a reason so that others can pick it up and run with it as well. I hope that makes sense. That's a little bit about me. I live in Southern California with my family. I had an absolute blast on the last cruise, and I cannot wait for this next cruise. We get a chance to meet everybody from around the world who are the leaders and the people that want to be a part of this movement. And it's just a lot of fun. So I encourage you, take this contest incredibly serious. Let's do it. Let's get it done. And then we'll meet on the boat and just have another wonderful, beautiful time. Pete, let's throw it back to you. I'm going to go ahead and roll another slide here, if I can figure out. Are you able to see what's on my screen?
Yes, the getting started portfolios.
Okay, so let's quickly go through the portfolios and how we sell them, how we talk about them to people, and then we're going to go through our DMO, which is sort of our most fun slide that we have here, the funnel and everything. But why don't you talk about the getting started portfolios for a second?
Yeah, so thanks so much, Jim. I appreciate that. And guys, when someone comes into ISN, they have to purchase a starting portfolio, starting package, if you will, a one-time package. And you know, ISN, and Jim touched on this a little bit, since we've been in a year and a half now, a little over a year and a half, they just keep making it better and better and better and better. I've never seen anything like it. It's incredible. And I mean, the company's totally morphed compared to when we came in. And when we came in a year and a half ago, Jim and I were just so giddy. It was great back then, but it's even light years ahead of where it was. So we used to have 2 packages when you entered, but they realized really quickly, and management, Keith and Adam, and talked with Matt and Vince, that you know, there's something in the human psychology of having 3 options. You know, 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. Kind of the good, better, best options, if you will. And so you have a basic portfolio that someone can get into for $199, the plus portfolio, $649, the premium portfolio for $1599. The premium portfolio is what they've just added recently, and it really is just kind of is the powerhouse of the 3 groups, and it kicks out the most BV, 1,000 BV, kicks out the most commissions, $250, and then you have the plus portfolio, which kicks out a little less BV, it kicks out $100 in commissions, and of course the basic that kicks out $25 in commissions. So the way Jim and I look at this, when someone asks, you know, what are the packages, if you will, I always say, hey, there's 3 ways to get started. There's good, there's better, there's best. It all depends, Joe Blow, on whether you want to make $25, $100, or $250. So if you want to make $25, there's a basic portfolio. If you want to make $100 per person, it's the plus portfolio. If you want to make $250 per package, it's the premium portfolio is where you want to start. So, you know, Adam and I always talk about it, and what we really stress, and Jim and I, you and I talked about it earlier this morning, is I always tell people I highly recommend you getting the premium portfolio if you feasibly can. If you're able to do that, that is by far the best package to get. I'm gonna push that on you. I think that is the best thing for you to get. If for some reason you can't do that financially, then you got to get the plus portfolio, okay? Because that's going to at least keep you a little bit competitive and start bringing in some money for you. I never even really bring up the basic unless someone absolutely has to go there, and it's so rare. I really just speak about the 2, the plus and the premium, and because that's what's going to put the money in your pocket. And I think it's important as a new business pro, when someone comes in and again, the three of us talk about this all the time, Adam, Jim, and myself, is you want to do, right? You want to do what you want to see replicated in your downline. So if you're coming in at a basic portfolio, again, there's nothing wrong with that if someone came in at the basic portfolio. But the point is that so many people ask, hey, where did you get in? Well, I came in at the basic. So it's kind of the monkey see, monkey do analogy, if you will. People are going to do what you do. So if someone comes at the high fact, say, hey, I came in at premium, and I'm really excited about it. It's the smorgasbord of our entire product sales of what we have. They're going to say, hey, I think I'm going to come in there. So I highly recommend really placing people primarily in premium, if they can't do that, into the plus portfolio, guys. And they get absolutely loaded with value in these packages. The packages that the management team put together for these is phenomenal. You know, Adam and Jim and I talk about just the watch itself. And we've actually done this. We've asked people time and time and time again of, hey, what do you think this watch is worth? We've had people say $3,000, $1,000, $500. And that's because it's just an absolutely gorgeous 24-karat gilded gold watch. And it's just a high value. Those things retail all day long for $350. So they're getting in value of products of what they're paying. And this is going to go, you know, when we talk about the autosavers too, someone's not paying X of thousands of dollars and getting hundreds of dollars worth of stuff. That's not the way it works here. These guys always deliver incredible value for what someone pays in, whether it's the starter package or whether, you know, when we talk about the pure value autosaver options that we had to choose from. They're getting incredible, incredible value. So that's why I never have an issue of pushing the premium and the plus nonstop, because the new Business Pro is getting so much in those packages. Jim, did you want to add to that?
Well, you cannot hurt anybody with these packages. This is money. This is pure silver and gold. I mean, it's phenomenal. So yeah, we're very excited to have these as options. I can tell you, looking at the premium portfolio, you know, you and I have been in longer than this has been in existence, yet I think I have everything in that picture. I've bought it already. I mean, I want to be a product of our company and own like everything they have. I want it all. So I can experience it and talk about it and know what this is, right? I have at least 2 watches. I think I may have a third. I don't know. I have at least 2 watches for myself.
Right.
I can only wear one at a time, I suppose, but you know what I'm saying? The ATBs, I mean, I'm collecting those like crazy in the top coin picks. So that portfolio, that's where you want to start. And you want to push people to that. They also are going to make the most amount of money, which is going to pay off. Now, if they don't and they start somewhere lower and they sell one of the bigger packages, guess what? That gap, that difference will roll up to the sponsor. So it really doesn't make any difference to you which one they get, but you want to let them know that's the best place to start. And
definitely.
So and we let people
Jim,
make their decisions.
I wanted to add on that is, you know, guys, you can always, just like in sales, you can start high and come lower, but you can't start lower and go higher, right? So always start high with the premium and highly recommend that, and then come down, right? But that's the beautiful thing about what's coming starting March 1st after this promotion is over, is that differential that's coming. So if someone comes in at a plus next month and they sell a premium package, the commission is $250, but because they're plus, they're making $100, and guess what? That $150 goes up to the next qualified upline leader. And guys, that really goes towards the fear of loss as far as commissions are concerned. So as Jim said, where someone comes in, it really doesn't matter to us, but I want my downline making the money. I'd rather have them have it and have ultimate success and excitement as opposed to that differential coming up to me. Okay, because the more excited they are and the more money they make, the better that we'll do anyway, right? So I want to make sure I stress that.
Let's move to the pure value auto savers. So we call them now pure value auto savers, plural. Adam did a wonderful training on this last week. I don't want to take away anything from what he said. I would go back and re-listen to that because he goes into this in great, great detail. But I just want to kind of point out how we talk about these these 4 different autosavers, and when we work with somebody getting them set up. We're going to go through the setup process here in just a few minutes. But as you know, we have this screen here represents what somebody can put on an automatic savings plan sent to their home every single month. You want to get to a point where you're experiencing all of these. All right? From the 2.5 gram gold autosaver, which is world-renowned PAMP Mint, Veriscan certified. I mean, this is some of the most recognizable pure gold in the world. You've got that as an option. You have the 5-ounce miscellaneous rounds or silver eagles, and those are going to obviously come. We're talking pure silver. I mean, it's just amazing. I think the EU uses maybe even the Britannia as their Gold Eagle version, so that's what you guys get. And then, of course, the 5-ounce ATB, which stands for America the Beautiful. And these are really interesting autosavers. I love this one. I know Pete does too because of 2 things. It has both market value and rarity value. This is a coin that's considered a semi-numismatic, meaning there's still relatively very few of these minted every year by the U.S. Mint, usually 30, 40, 50,000. I think a couple of them go a little bit higher, but not much. That's a small number compared to the 20, 30, 40 million gold American Eagles that are printed. Okay, so there's just a small fraction, but you have the market value of 5 ounces of pure silver, and then you have the semi-numismatic because it's a limited mintage on helping that coin out. So you have 5 of these that are released every year. That's it. 5 of these per year, and then they stop at the end of the year, and they go on to the next year. Right now, we're just breaking ground on the 2017s of this thing, and it hits all the way until 2020, I believe. And then they may go to another version, perhaps, but that's what we have. So there is a rarity version here, a rarity issue that's very, very cool. We're seeing some of these coins already spike in value way beyond the market value of 5 ounces of silver. Okay, and so I would highly recommend you put some of these in your safe as well. In fact, at least one of each of all the ones that are released in the current year. Pete and I personally, we're going backwards and we're picking up everything else that we've missed over the years. We think a collection of these is going to be worth a lot of money. And then finally, we've got the top pick autosaver. That's the graded top coin pick. And these are phenomenal values, right? Usually 5,000 in existence in this pure quality version. In this case, it's showing a panda. That's going to change as we find different top coin picks. And these things will tend to go rocketing in value. We almost every single time have the lowest price in the world. You can search the internet up, down, sideways, and you won't find it any cheaper than what we get them for as ISN members. And they have the tendency to go up in value like nobody's business. In fact, some of them have already tripled, quadrupled in just the last couple of years. So there's a tremendous amount of value in that from a rarity standpoint. And really the bigger picture here is, in my opinion, and I know Pete agrees, is you want to have a variety of investment here in your metals portfolio. You want to have a little bit of gold. You want to have some silver, just bullion. You want to have some rare things as well. And just kind of have this mix going so that you're kind of playing the whole field, if you will. We have people that'll do minimum 2, 3, 4 of these every single month. Some are even doing much, much higher. And the rule of thumb, and Adam talked about this last week, is take 10% of your income, and that's what you should be saving. That's what Robert Kiyosaki and many of the authors and financial people say is try really hard to get to a 10% of your income should be in the form of savings. And we say, hey, that savings, don't save it in your worthless paper dollars or other currencies that are going down in value. Save it in precious metals. So if you make $3,000 a month, take $300 and go put it into some metals. Okay? And we'll go through how we speak to somebody when we get them started, how they can determine that. That's going to be a lot of fun here. Anything you want to add to that, Pete, before I go to the next slide?
Yeah, the incredible thing, guys, you were talking about the ATBs. Not only are the top coin picks just skyrocketing value, but as you said, the ATBs are also, because not only because they're low mintage, but because they have that phenomenal story about them being minted by the U.S. Mint. Low mintage, but also the phenomenal story of the coins commemorating the national parks and the monuments in the United States of America. Guys, I'm telling you, those things are no-brainers and so popular amongst the business pros and the customers that are getting on our rocket fuel of autosaver options every single month.
Pete, why don't you take the next slide and talk about active versus passive recruiting and some of the differences there from what I have up here on the screen.
Absolutely. Okay, guys, so what we teach our downline is, when they say, hey, how do you prospect? What do you do? What is the process? And the way that Jim and I teach is the way that we've always recruited, and the way, the big money earners in network marketing, both in the past and the present, do it. And they do it two ways. You have active prospecting, and you have passive, or I should say active recruiting and passive recruiting. Okay, so let's talk about active. And it says there most of our time is spent there, about 95%. And through our active recruiting, what Jim and I do, and this has been proven is the most effective way to recruit in this industry, is we go after network marketers. Okay? We go after our target market network marketers. We don't go after friends or family or our neighbors or a postman or a guy at the grocery store, right? Or my brother or my father. We go after people that have been in network marketing at some time in the past or are currently in network marketing. Now, if your uncle has been in network marketing, certainly you can show him ISN. But there's a reason that we do that, because that's our target market. And the analogy, that the easiest way to think about that is if you owned a hockey equipment company, would you market to golfers? Of course not. If you owned a cigar manufacturing company, would you market to non-smokers? Of course not. You would market to people that have bought a cigar at some time in the past. If you owned a hockey equipment company, you would market to people that bought hockey equipment at some time in the past. So the reason that it's our target market is that network marketers get it, guys. They've bought the product of network marketing at some time in the past. They enjoy the industry. They like it, right? So you don't have to go through 2 sales pitches. When you go after friends and family or people that haven't been in network marketing, guess what? You have to close them on 2 aspects. Number one, you have to close them on the industry, right? Convince them that network marketing is good, and then you have to close them on your company, right? So when you go after network marketers, which is your target market, you don't have to convince them on the industry. They get it. They love it. That's why they've been in it, right? Your Aunt Sally doesn't get it. She doesn't want to get it. She never wants to get it, right? So that's the beauty of going after your target market, number one. Just doing that in itself will skyrocket your recruiting. Number two, the way we attack our target market is through genealogy lists. So we just simply purchase genealogy lists, and we have a couple different sources. You can get it on the internet. And the genealogy lists are genealogy list of only network marketers, either current or people that have been in network marketing in the past. It's not opportunity seekers. It's not small business owners. It's just network marketers. And we dial into the genealogy list one call after another with the 30-second pitch that we learn through a training that we have. And either they want the information or they don't want the information. If they want the information, we email them our information, our video that we did on a company. In fact, we have a brand new 15-minute video that Adam did that's incredible. We get them that information through our sales funnel, and we follow up the next day to close. Very simple. So active recruiting. We're picking up the phone and dialing, guys. You can't get away from the phone. You cannot get away from the phone, guys. It's just that simple. You can't. You can't hide behind the computer. You got to pick up the phone and dial into your market. The great thing is that you can make 60 calls in an hour. You can make 45 calls in 45 minutes. Most network marketers don't make 45 calls in 15 years, let alone 45 minutes. So the two biggest mistakes that network marketers make, guys, is number one, they talk to the wrong people. They talk to the people that aren't network marketers. And the second biggest mistake they make is what? They don't talk to enough people. So not only are they talking to the wrong people, but they don't talk to enough people. So when you get the genealogy list of network marketers and you're making one dial after another, 50, 60, 70 calls a day, 100 calls a day, guess what? You're doing the numbers, right? You're making enough dials, you're talking to enough people, but you're also talking to the right people. That's the secret sauce, guys. Okay? That's what's made me the #1 recruiter in the company over the last year and a half and over the past years where I've been. That is the secret sauce. That's how the big earners do it. Okay? Now, passively, what do we mean by that? It's exactly what it says. Passively means putting out your information onto the internet, hoping someone clicks on that link, takes a look at the information, right, and gets back to you. So you put something out there. An example, I do it with YouTube videos. So I put YouTube videos out there, right? And maybe the YouTube video is about the economy and about silver and gold, or maybe it's an unboxing of new silver that I had just gotten. And in the description, I put the link for our sales funnel. Because at the end of the video, I'll say, hey guys, if you're interested in a phenomenal silver and gold home-based business opportunity, click on the link below. And I put that and I share that with my Facebook page and my Twitter page and Pinterest and LinkedIn, et cetera, and you're hoping that someone watches the video and passively, hence the word passive, clicks on your link, right? And that's what you want, guys. You'll get people from that. You will recruit people from passive marketing. So not only is it YouTube, but another thing that Jim and I do and we love to do is take an article on silver and gold and click the share button and share it to your Facebook page and put the title of the article and then put your sales funnel link underneath that. And that's the power of that, guys. And you're providing great content, yet you're also providing an option for them to check out and see what you're doing as far as your silver and gold business. So two different things. You want to do both at the same time. I'm a big believer in 95% active, 5% passive, and they're both very effective, and both should be done simultaneously. Jim?
Like little fishing hooks out there, and a lot of that passive stuff you can do at night when you're not making calls, and it's too late to do that.
Yes.
Get some videos set up, get them out there, and then let them just kind of work their thing out there, and it does work. But you don't want to focus 100% of your time on that. And then during the day, get out there and push into the marketplace with that active recruiting. That's really what makes the difference. Okay, let's move on. So here is what the sales funnel looks like. You've got all this activity at the top, the phone call, the YouTube videos. You can text message somebody you might know. Of course, you've got all your social media. You drive traffic into your website. Your website is the sales funnel, the My Team duplication, okay, that we all have. We're going to show you where to find that here in a second. You want to attract people in, get them into the funnel so they can watch the video. That's the key, okay? You want them to watch that video, and it just keeps getting better and better. Adam just updated it a few days ago, I think over the weekend, and it's already doing phenomenal. In fact, Pete had somebody find the video.
I don't think the UK has the marketing funnel yet. That's in the works for them.
Okay.
And so, that's in the works for them. That's something that's coming. That's something that's coming for the UK.
All right.
But we could use the analogy of, I know, Paul DeJaren, my guy in the UK, came up with his own funnel, and just for the time being until we have ours to drive people into, and just brought in a guy from Canada. But you could also drive people to your main website, your ISN Coins website, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, there's plenty of info on there for somebody to understand what we're doing and to make a decision. No doubt about it. And then what they come out as, of course, at the bottom is going to be a customer or a distributor. I mean, so it's a function of putting enough in the front end, letting them get the information, letting them make that decision. You got to follow up. You got to follow up the next day. We recommend that very, very highly, and always keep a speed, keep the pace. That things are happening quickly, and you want them to look at this fast. Don't let it drag on. At least that's kind of how we approach it here in the United States. And then when you do get somebody who's interested and looking at the info, bring them online with a qualified upline, whether it's your sponsor or somebody in the upline, and let somebody else help you answer their questions and ask them for the order and get it started. That's what that peak and pass to qualified upline is.
Absolutely. Always.
Here's a screenshot of some of Pete's YouTube videos. He's done, have you done over 100 of them now?
I've got about 250.
Jeez. All kinds of unboxings. These things get a lot of views. Look at this one, 2,000 views, 100 views, 200 views. And every single one of them, they're just short little couple of minutes, and every autosaver he gets, he puts them up. I do a lot of the same, and you just put into the description your link. And you just never know where that video is going to show up. And guess what, guys? It's on here forever. So it could be a video that you do in week 1, and a year later somebody happens to watch it, like it, decide to click on your link and go through the sales funnel. You just never know.
Exactly.
Okay, so then we really don't want to talk about setting up the marketing system then here on this particular one, then, do we, Pete?
Correct, because the UK doesn't have that. The UK doesn't have that yet, Jimbo.
Okay, it's coming, and when it does, we'll do some updated training on how to set that up. It's really powerful, for sure. Okay, so let me roll through what we would send somebody to pique their interest after we get them on the phone. So Pete talked about active recruiting and picking up the phone, calling into our target market, talking to other network marketers. And you ask them the 30-second pitch, a question. It takes about 30 seconds. It's very, very quick. And essentially, guys, what you're looking for is, are you open to taking a look at a phenomenal opportunity? And if you are, I'm going to send you some free information. Okay? Now, there's a few little nuances to it that I didn't cover, but it's really important. But the essence is, are you open? Are you open to taking a look? Yes or no? If it's no, no problem. Thank you very much. Have a great day. I'm not going to argue with them. I'm not going to try to convince them. I'm not going to sit here and try to overcome all their objections, right? How many seminars have we all had to go to overcome objections and all this hooey? Hey, either they're open or they're not. That's how I look at it. If they are, phenomenal. Great. Let me get some info in your hands right away. Let me verify your email address. This is what I have. And then this is the email I'm going to send them. If you can take a screenshot, do so. But it basically says, very nice to speak with you. Go to my link. Here's the link. Now here you could put, that's my own personal link, freesilver.biz. You could put isncoins.com/ and then your username. Wherever you want to send them to get the information. Maybe it's to your own personal video on your YouTube channel. Take the online tour, fill out the survey. Okay? I'm just kind of giving them direction here. I'll tell them a little bit about me. I'm running North America. I only speak with networkers who have past experience. This eliminates the very outdated and tired marketing model of harassing your friends and family. That seems to be music to a lot of people's ears because they don't want to get involved in something new, and they're already thinking I got to go talk to Uncle Charlie again and Aunt Matilda. I've already gone to them 15 times this year. You know what I'm saying? So I tell them up front. I answer an objection up front, which is, this is who I talk to. And that's pretty important that you make that known very quickly. I also let them know I'm forming my executive team. I'm a serious player, and I want to come off as sharp and competent, and I'm forming my executive team. I said this, guys. Pete and I said that day one. We hadn't recruited a single person. We were nobody. We just started. And we started by saying, hey, we're here. We're going to build this thing huge. We have the confidence in that, and we're going to build our executive team. Do you want to be a part of this movement or not? And so don't wait to be, at a certain level before you have that kind of confidence in it. Just start right now. You're building your executive team. And you're going to build out wherever it is you want to build out, whatever you want to say, what area, and we're going to help you do that, and we're going to, stack thousands of ounces of gold and silver in the process. How exciting. Look forward to speaking with you tomorrow. Now, I'll edit this sometimes if I set a specific time, 3 p.m. I look forward to speaking with you tomorrow at 3 p.m. if we set an exact time, which most of the time we do. Okay, and then just my name, who I am, my cell number, my contact info. I want them to see me. And then I also Pete and I will put a barrage, a collage of eye candy, the sizzle that makes this whole thing work. It's the eye candy of gold and silver. And I put them up on this screen on one slide, but I use, I'll just stack them one on top of the other below my copy of my email, and that is what I send to my prospects. And my goal every day is, how many of these can I get out there? I want to have good conversations with my target market who raise their hand and say, yeah, I'll take a look. I want this to be in their inbox. How many of those can I get out there in a day? And I'm going to tell you right now, the more of these you can get out there, the higher up you're going to up the odds of sponsoring somebody in, getting them started. Some are going to come in with or without you. I mean, it's when you get it to the right person, they're going to do it.
Exactly.
Let's jump, Pete, to, okay, you brought somebody in, and this is what this is what we send them. But you and I also sketched out kind of when you bring somebody in, you're starting to what we call app them up on the phone. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So, one of the more recent conversations. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say we have about
Jim?
5 minutes. So, but.
Okay. So, one of the more recent conversations I've had with Adam, and one of the things I'm going to give him credit for this, as so many things, he does such an amazing job, is the apping up over the phone. And it was such a great idea, I started implementing it right away. Okay. Guys, it doesn't matter how much you recruit or how successful you are, you always want to have your ears open as to something that someone may be doing that you can implement immediately. And Adam is a treasure chest of those types of ideas. So anyway, when I have someone that's ready to get started, I'll just tell them, hey, I'll just take your app right over the phone here, and we'll get you in. And I will just go through the whole getting started process, right? Click on Get Started on ISN Coins, take all their information, okay? When we get to the packages, I'll explain to them the 3 different packages and why the premium is the best and what they make with that, and then the plus and then the basic, and why they should be at the premium. If they can't do that, they should be at the plus. Then I'll just ask them, hey, which one is best for you? And they'll let me know, okay? And then from there, it's to the autosavers. And the way I explain the autosavers, guys, I explained to everybody that the autosavers, the pure value autosavers, is the jet fuel of our company. It's a jet fuel of our compensation plan. And I explained to them that we simply teach the 10% rule, whether it's a business pro coming in or we're talking to a customer. And what that means is that it's the pay your first methodology. You should take 10% of your income, as Jim mentioned earlier, and if that's $3,000 a month, that should be $300 a month spent within these 5 autosaver options, okay? And I'll simply ask them, Bob, how much do you feel comfortable spending each month in silver and gold showing up physically, at your residence? What is it that you want to have? And if they say, well, $350, then I'll give them recommendations. I'll specifically guide them, right? I won't let them, I'll say, okay, Bob, here's what I recommend. For if you can do $350, I highly recommend getting the top coin pick and the ATB. And by the way, guys, those are, I think, the 2 options that are the absolute best for the people coming in. They can certainly choose what they want. It's just my recommendation. I push them over in that direction. Most of the time they go there. Sometimes people say, well, instead of ATB, I want gold, or I want a 5-pack of Eagles because I want 5 ounces or 5 separate ounces, whatever the case may be. But I guide them in that direction. And the way I get to that is by asking them, hey, knowing that you know how we teach this, the 10% rule, how much per month do you feel comfortable in spending on the autosaver options? And then I tell them, as Adam says, it's so true, the average rep is doing between 2 and 4 autosaver options a month. In fact, we have one gentleman in our downline that's doing 11 autosaver options. In fact, he's down in Adam's downline. But that just goes to the power of what we have, guys. They're not buying a product. Most reps and most companies with yummy shakes and energy drinks only buy the minimum to keep them quote-unquote qualified. In ISN, they don't even have that thought process because they're not thinking about minimums. They're thinking about how much can they buy because it's precious metals, because they're not buying anything. They're simply converting declining dollars into appreciating assets. Not only are the downline doing that, as you guys know, but they're also going and doing one-off orders throughout the month and ordering 2,000 here, 3,000 there, 5,000 there. People don't do that with yummy shakes. So that's how I guide them, guys, on the autosavers, okay? Then they click process the order. Now they're in the company, right? So from there, while they're on the phone, I'll set up their marketing funnel for them. You guys don't have that yet, but it's coming, right? I think it's coming. It's in the works. And I'll get that to them so they have that funnel that they can market throughout social media. So they can take that funnel and give it to their friends and family that have been in network marketing, right? And they can take that funnel. And I think one of Adam's gentlemen has done this, and within hours has it in front of several of his colleagues' faces, if you will, as far as checking out ISN. Now they can take that and email it to a few people and have them take the online tour of our company, right? Or you can use Adam's 15-minute video. That's a brilliant video. That's what's inside the funnel, and just take that and send it to people, okay? But that's what we want to do, guys. We want to get the information to people as soon as possible. And for the new rep, you want to help them as much as you can in the beginning. Treat them like a baby bird. Jim Rohn talks about treating your new rep as a baby bird. How do you hold a baby bird? You hold them firmly and securely, but you also have kind of a tender touch, right, holding that bird. And that's exactly what you do with the new rep. And you spend not a whole lot of time with the rep, and they got to be independent themselves, but just kind of guiding them, helping them kind of go through the back office a little bit, getting their marketing funnel set up. From that point, I friend them on Facebook. I add them to our secret ISN Facebook group on Facebook. That's our hub for here in the United States. Some of you guys in the UK I know are part of that. You're welcome. I add them to the group. I announce them to the group. You always want to make the new rep feel special. That's the way it is. The more special you feel early on, the less likely they are to ever leave the company, right? You announce them to the group. People are welcoming him or her to the group. And then after that, I'll send them a training email. And in that training email, we list just step by step what they should be doing next. And what I'll do is the next day, I'll call them up and literally go through that 6-step training email with them point by point so they can ask questions, so they can fully understand kind of where we're driving. But one of the biggest messages that I try to preach, and again, Adam and Jim have been talking about this a lot recently, is the peak and pass. All you want to do as a new rep, guys, your new reps, you want to teach them just to pique their interest. you don't want them saying anything. You want them to get that person in front of a certain piece of information, right? Whether it's a video or the marketing funnel like we have in the United States. After they do that, you do not want to call them back alone because you do not want to explain something that you don't have an idea of how to explain yet. You're new, right? You're that baby bird. You don't know yet. You need to listen some more. So you get your qualified upline leader on the phone with you. You do the introduction, and then you hit mute, and you let that upline leader take charge, answer the questions, and close the sale. Okay? Until down the line, whether that's a couple weeks or a week or a month or 2 months, then you can do the same thing because you've listened to your upline leader over and over and over again until it's sunk in, and now you can help your people's people. And then a week later, I'll call my downline to my new rep to check in, see if he's got his ISN package yet. Maybe 9 days later, 10 days later, and to see if how he's doing going through the training, if they have any additional questions. And now they're off to a good start, guys. Right? I've really kind of held that new rep securely and firmly, and guided them and got them off to a good start. And I always tell the new reps, you don't have to eat the elephant all in one bite. You eat the elephant in small bites, okay? Because you don't want them to get overwhelmed. Just small little bites. And some will go faster than others, and it doesn't matter. And I always tell them that don't compare yourself to anyone else. You just keep moving forward. Do better tomorrow than you did today. Know more tomorrow than you know today, right? So I always tell people, compete with yourself, and slowly take in that knowledge. And the other thing that I highly recommend is in our number 5, really beef up the history and knowledge of precious metals with Mike Maloney. And he has a video series called out The Hidden Secrets of Money, and I recommend that to everybody. And that just really that's the first thing that Adam gave us when we came in a year and a half ago. Jim, you'll never forget that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And we absolutely just absorbed that information. And again, thank you to Adam. I spend 2 to 3 hours a night, late at night. I call it kind of my time when everyone's kind of asleep and so on and so forth, where I just study the market. I study the metals, the economy, all on YouTube. Just study, and listening to, the X22 report and Mike Maloney and David Morgan and Greg Manarino and all these phenomenal people, just adding to my knowledge. Because the more certain you are, the more confident it comes out in your verbiage when you're closing. And the more confident you are, the more likely people are going to say, yeah, I'm ready because I want to follow a leader. I want to follow someone that's confident. That's why a lot of times if you're kind of shaky or unconfident, people close. That's why you have your upline leader do all the talking, especially when you're new. Jim, you want to add anything to that?
Perfect. Well, I just put up on the screen the sort of our getting started email that we send. You guys may want to model some of this with your teams. You're welcome to take screenshots. This is just what works for us here right now. We constantly fiddle with this thing, so it'll look different in a few months, but not too much. I mean, it's just sort of basics, and you want to, put into the hands of your new person good information on how to get started. So create something for yourself as well. And I like how you really help them and sort of nurture them along the way, Pete. That's really strong. And then, of course, in that email, we'll put some more eye candy. Always try to promote something and show them the gist of the comp plan, or in this case, you can win a Mercedes with 12,000 in volume. And here's a shot of the last cruise. So getting back to the cruise, this is what is the most fun about the whole thing. I got to tell you, is hanging out with these guys, hanging out with everybody from ISN corporate and from all over the world that came in. If you want more of this kind of training, this is probably the type of thing that we'll do more of, maybe even on the ship in sessions. Of course, talking with somebody like in a bar or in a hot tub or somewhere on a beach at one of the excursions, and just kind of getting to know them a little bit more and getting to hear how they, just the little nuances. Sometimes that makes all the difference in how you approach your business and how you build this thing. Let's make no mistake about it. The 3 guys on this screen here, that's me on the left, Pete is in the middle, that's Adam on the right. There is no question the 3 of us are going to go to the very, very, very top of this thing. and make a lot of money in ISN. I am 100% confident of that. There is no doubt in my mind. So the question is, and this is how I try to come across to a lot of my prospects is, look, we're going to the top of this thing with or without you. I'd love to have you on board with us. Come with us. We're going. Let's go. We'll go together. I'll help you. And I want you to come with us. So I want that confidence to rub off on them that they're with a company that's going to the moon. They're with a group of people that are going to the moon, right? I hope that makes a little bit of sense. Sometimes it's more in how you say things, how it comes across, than the specifics of what you're saying, especially in this kind of an arena of network marketing. People want to be a part of something that's going to be big. And I'm going to tell you what is about to happen with this company over the next 6 to 12 months is going to blow your mind. The growth and explosion because of the new packages we have and where we're headed with this and the new presentation, it's about to be an incredibly exciting next few months. And you want to get on board not only yourself in your head, but the people you start bringing on. You want to really encourage them. Here's another fun shot. Where was this, Pete? Key West, I think. One of the stops.
Yeah, that was the Sloppy Joe's restaurant that we had there in incredible Key West. Yeah. Our last stop on the last cruise in September. That was an awesome restaurant. Great music. Awesome.
So I'll leave that screen onto the top there. I just want to convey, thank you all so very much for being on the call tonight. And Pete and I were honored to help present to you a little bit of our strategy and what we do day to day. I will tell you there are some really, really big things happening with this company. We wouldn't be here if there wasn't, and I mean that, because we're here to make huge sums of money in network marketing, and there just could not be anything better than what we're staring down right now with ISN. So take it seriously. Take yourself seriously. Put yourself in a position to reap the big reward that is going to happen here. Pete, any closing comments, and then we'll hand it back over to Matt.
Yeah, guys, kind of piggyback on what you said, Jim, is that it's really important, being that this company is not even in really pre-momentum yet. You want to create your own momentum in your group before the company hits momentum itself. So in other words, the bigger group that you have and the more momentum you have as the company starts escalating and starts hedging towards a momentum phase, and a momentum phase on the curve is when that line starts kind of ramping up like a big skateboard ramp. Right. The bigger your group, the more money in huge amounts that you're going to make. So you want to hit the deck plates running, in other words, right? You want to build that momentum out, not wait.
Sponsored legs out there floating in the water, right?
Exactly.
As many as you can get quickly, because that wave is coming, and it's just going to rise everybody up. And the more of these legs you have out there, the bigger, faster it's going to go.
That's exactly it. And be disciplined in your daily approach, guys. Right? Whether you have 10 minutes, a half an hour, 2 hours, 5 hours, be disciplined in your approach. I'm constantly working on myself for that. And not getting caught up. Yesterday I had a day where I was so busy doing three-way calls with my downline, I didn't schedule that time to make my own calls. And that's a no-no. Be disciplined as to when you're going to make your dials, as to when you're going to work on the ISN opportunity. Whether you have a job or another business or whatever the case may be, schedule it out. Be disciplined.
Okay, Matt, unless there's questions or another area you want us to talk about, I guess I'll hand it back to you. And how do I do that?
No, you guys did a good job. I appreciate it, guys. And there's just tons of information in there. And actually, I'd love to have you guys come back and do this again. I would think everybody on here probably is 100% in agreement. There's just, what I love is tangible help. tangible things that you can, it's always nice to have, you get pumped up about fluff, it's like you can do this and you'll do this, it's great, but when you see real life figures, real life things that actually have been proven to work and as real steps, to me, there's nothing better. Now, and as you heard him say at the beginning, there's a smorgasbord of information, and what the stuff they're showing you has worked for them. It's a system. So if this system maybe doesn't seem right for you, I encourage you, then find a system that does work, because these systems are what makes things happen. And when you're talking about putting together, and they're talking about making calls and making this the real thing, you're going to have success doing that. It's inevitable. And I know there's some people that maybe that's scary to them or whatever, but you get past that after you just have a little bit of experience. The only thing that's scary is the lack of experience, but once you do it a little bit, the experience comes. And so, another thing too, just talking about, I think Pete was talking about, he does research in the evening, and this is the same as, maybe some of you have been through different network marketing companies in the past. It's not the same, because this information that you're studying isn't just for your business. It has multiple facets of purpose behind it, because the more information you learn about your monetary system and ways to protect your wealth and do that, it's only going to help you even outside of the business and outside of your knowledge base. This stuff is real. This stuff is really helping people to get ahead and to be able to actually start preserving their wealth and actually building wealth. So that information isn't just about learning about health products and things that are good for that purpose. They actually help you with your finances, and it really does help. So it's not just for your business sake, but it's also for your own financial sake as well. So I do encourage you to look through that stuff and keep studying it, keep knowing it, and keep growing. And I'd love to get more information from these guys too as we go forward. And excited about this cruise that's coming up. We had a blast last time. I know some of you are on here tonight. We're on that cruise. And I've seen a lot of new names on here too, so I'm hoping to see more of you guys on here. And now Keith has just informed me from the U.S. corporate office that this marketing system that they were just hinting about today is going to be open for Europe today. So you can go into your back office like within an hour. Actually, no, he just told me right now the link is live. It's live right now. You guys can go in your back office, take advantage of the system. And I just want to tell you guys something else too. Pete just had a guy go through this little bit short 15-minute video. It's so powerful. It's brand new. We just put it in. This guy went through the system and he signed up. And Pete didn't even talk to the guy. He just watched the video and signed up, and he bought the premium portfolio, the $1,599 portfolio. He bought that just by going through and watching the video. So it's a powerful thing. That's it's unheard of to see that. The video is very good. I encourage you guys to go through it yourself and watch that video a couple times. It's really, really good. It gets you to understand our industry. So
Matt, he had another one come through and sign up just before this call started too.
No kidding. See, well, that's just a system working for you. And technically, that system's only supposed to get you leads. It's not necessarily there to get people signed up automatically. But if that works too, then so be it. But those leads are very good, warm, hot leads. They are easy to follow through with. So really exciting. So if anyone has any questions, you can go ahead and type them in. I'll go ahead and answer those questions for you. And other than that, we're going to close out today's training. I'm so appreciative of these guys being on here, Pete and Jim. Wonderful job. These guys are great role models to model your business after. They've had huge success in short periods of time. Along with and I know there's a lot in ISN totally, but these guys are really good. So again, find the system. Master the niche. They say niche to get rich, meaning that you gotta get really good at one thing, and then go through it. So again, thanks everybody for being on here. This is being recorded tonight, so you can go ahead and listen to it again. Get your team on here to listen to it as well. I think that's really important. And then we'll talk to you guys next Tuesday. Don't forget that this Thursday is an opportunity webinar to get people onto that webinar and let us do the talking for you, and then you just follow up with them and see what did they like about it, and then go from there. So again, thanks everybody. Have a great evening, and we'll talk to you next week. All right, thanks guys.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye-bye.